What's up, guys and gals? Your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys a chapter review. Chapter 68 of Ayakashi Triangle and the Love Confession chapter. It's the Love Confession chapter. Now, I'm curious to know how they're going to play off the end of this particular chapter as a joke, or Matsuri didn't hear it, or she's going to try to backtrack or backpedal and stuff, because this whole chapter is all about Suzu recognizing that she is in love with Matsuri again, blah, blah, and her feelings are overflowing. Even the Omokage comes out to try and tell, like, I'm sweet on you, Matsuri, sort of idea. Goes to Yayo for help, Yayo ends up sort of trying to put the two of them together to be alone after school, and like a little bit of hilarity ensues. But honestly, the chapter itself, fun, fluff, comedy, that kind of deal, right? There was nothing great about it. There was nothing too, you know what I mean? It was just a chapter. It was just a chapter. That doesn't mean it was bad, but I am curious about the ending part, because the ending part, as I said, is about Matsuri, of course, being so thoughtful about the whole idea, like, because she comes up with, I'm sweet, sweet, sweet potato. I'd really like a sweet potato, right? Now, Matsuri had heard this before from the Omokage, goes to Lou, her other friend outside of Yayo, of course, the one all about the UFOs and whoa, they're out there, goes and says, yeah, Suzu was after like something sweet or something like that, and somehow ends up at sweet potato. Don't really get that. But anyways, ends up at sweet potato, and just as she says sweet potato, he goes, I knew it was something like that, and pulls out a sweet potato because he's so thoughtful, he's so insightful. Suzu does recognize that Matsuri cares for her a lot, but might do that whole, sorry, you're like a little sister to me, or you're like a family to me, like we can't date sort of idea. Like, I love you, but I don't love you that way. That's what Suzu, of course, is worried about. So she starts actually crying at the sincerity and the and just the devotion that Matsuri has, and the care and thoughtfulness that Matsuri is showing Suzu. And so as she's crying, she eats the sweet potatoes and says, I really love you, Matsuri. But she backed out at the most of the chapter, and here at the very end, double page spread, she's crying, she's stuffing her face because that's what she does, and she says, I really do love you, Matsuri. He's standing right there. Is this really how we're going down with this? Is this really how it's going to play out? I mean, realistically, it seems a little... I suppose it's not bad, but the fact of the matter is we've never had a will they, won't they? They will. They totally will. There's no way they won't. So it hasn't been a will they, won't they sort of situation where we need these grand moments and these grand gestures and stuff, because this sort of feels like a filler episode in between the battles sort of idea. And it's sort of like, oh, like a beach episode almost, right? Because we see most of the characters, we see Roko, we see Yayo, we see, Shirogane, we see all the other characters, and it's just sort of like, well, it just sort of feels like before we move on to the next section of the plot, we're just going to have these little fun little comedic moments, and now this is a major step in their relationship. But I would argue we've always known that Matsuri and Suzu since, like, Chapter 1, that they both had feelings for each other. There was no denying that whatsoever, and it's just been getting stronger and stronger as the series progressed. So it wasn't really a will they, won't they. It was a when will they, right? When will they? And so I guess this feels, once again, just like the kiss, and that's brought up at the beginning of this chapter, just like the kiss, this is a little unceremoniously, like, it's a little too fast-paced, it's a little too, like, what are you doing? For me, I was just like, really? Like, I would have been actually happier with the chapter had she not confessed here at the end. I mean, you could argue that, okay, maybe the series isn't going on much further past the Shadow Mai arc, maybe, the series is going to end at, 80 chapters or so, 100 chapters. That could be the case, and in this case, sort of wrapping up the romance side of things, so they're going to fight together as a couple now. They've been fighting on and off the battlefield sort of idea, and now they're going to fight together as a couple, and we're going to have just some new development going forward with that. You could argue that that's the case, maybe just trying to hurry up this part of the subplot along. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how to feel about this, other than the fact that I think it was too, like, just out of the blue, like out of nowhere. There was no build up to this. There was no, like, they're up, somebody's dying, they're up against the final boss. There was none of those, you could argue, cliche or cheesy moments to really push them together. Nobody's leaving for 3 months, you know what I mean? That's what a lot of sitcoms do. They have a character either get a new job or has to leave or has to move out or something like that, and or gets back together with an ex or something like that. They always have these big moments that ends up building and come to this head. Here it was just like, it's any other day. I'm just so madly in love. And that got us to here. It's like, well, she's been madly in love for 67 chapters. What's so special about chapter 68? You know, it doesn't feel genuine enough to me. Maybe that's the word I'm looking for. I don't think I'm really hitting the nail on the head in describing this very well, but let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. The chapter was okay, but as I said, I feel like this is kind of like, should be like a 10 out of 10. Yes, finally, the love confession, it's here. The I love you, it's what you wait for when you read enough romance. Not feeling it. Not feeling it. Like both the characters, like them together. Not feeling the romantic moments. The kiss and now the love confession. Not feeling either moment. I don't know what it is. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget the fourth and most important thing, to drink responsibly. As always, we will see you back here next time for chapter 69. Chapter 69 of Ayakashi Triangle. Okay, my mood's getting a little better. Can't wait to see what they do for that one. Alright, see you later, everybody.